Good afternoon, Rotarians.
Good afternoon.
Emil, perfect timing.
Yes.
Would you please open us with an invocation?
Happy to.
Yes, sir.
Dear Lord, thank you for another opportunity to join together as the Rotary Club of Lawrence. Bless this food of our service and us to our bodies and us to your service. Be with our program today. May we be enlightened about good things in the community. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. Join us in our Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you, Scott. Okay, so now it's my favorite time, although today I did get here a little bit early enough so we could eat our whole plate. The food's been great, Ray. Thank you. But I'm super excited to hear Daniel's program and what they're doing at E.B. Morse. And I know that we help them a lot with backpack ministry and potentially working on a couple other programs in the future. So we're super excited about in regards to Rotary. So Daniel, I'll let you give the introduction.
It's my honor today to introduce Jason Bailey. Jason is the principal at E.B. Morse Elementary. He is a Lawrence native. He went to Ford Elementary and Lawrence District High School. After he left Lawrence, he went down to Columbia for several years where he got an undergraduate degree in history, a master's in teaching, another master's in educational administration, all from USC. Give me another go Gamecocks. But then he went to Clemson.
I can explain.
He got a PhD from Clemson in educational leadership. So and he's currently he has been the assistant principal at Sanders Middle and Hickory Tavern Middle, and he is currently the principal at E.B. Morse. He also enjoys spending time with his family, exercising, watching sports, reading, listening to music, and playing guitar, and I can vouch firsthand that he is an excellent guitarist.
Thank you. It is an honor to be here. Can you guys hear me? All right. I am really excited to be here. Like Daniel said, my name is Jason Bailey. I'm the principal at E.B. Morris. First of all, thank you guys for sponsoring the backpack program with E.B. Morris. That is something that our kids really benefit from. So it's a little unusual for me to be out in public at 1 o'clock on a Thursday. I feel like I've been let out on parole or something. So this is what happens in the real world. Like there's actually people out in the world, not in a school building. So it's a little unusual for me. Once again, thank you. Okay, so I want to talk to you guys about what we're doing at EB, specifically with academics and how we're trying to get our students to grow academically. Our school district, Lawrence 55, our motto for this year is be a champion. And of course, the number one priority at all times with that is school safety. And we're doing a really good job of that as a district. But once you get past school safety, our next priority obviously is to make sure that we're giving the best academic program for our kids every single day. Because as parents, when you send your kids to one of our schools, you're entrusting us with them safety-wise, and you're entrusting us with them academically. So looking at the last couple of years, we've had quite a few challenges. Obviously, COVID was something that nobody planned for. But we currently have second grade kids who this is their first normal year in school. If you think about it. Because their kindergarten year is when COVID came, and their first grade year is when COVID stayed. I remember the last day that we met as a faculty, we were actually getting ready for state testing. I don't know if it was 2019 or 2020, but it was March 12th. I'll never forget the day. We actually had an assembly that afternoon getting kids ready for state testing coming up. And we were going over strategies and what have you. That was a Friday, or no, that was a Thursday rather, because Friday was a half-day work day. That Sunday, the governor decided that we were no longer going to school. And so that was the last normal day our kids have had since this year. And so with that in mind, of course it impacts our kids academically. So we see second graders who need a lot of support literacy-wise. I know that's a Rotary issue right there. A lot of support in terms of mathematics. A lot of support in how do I do school. Like I don't even know how to do school because I haven't been in it enough to know. So we're also seeing a lot of kids who have like behavioral challenges because again they've never done school. So with all of that swirling around us, our mission still is how do we improve our kids academically? And so a huge component of that obviously is in making sure that we as teachers and administrators, that we're providing the strategies that we need for our kids to be successful. And so one of the things that we're doing at EB concerning that is at 2:10 every day, everything stops. And from 2:10 to 2:40 we do our Just Take 30. Which we used to call 30 for 30 in the district. And so during that time, every kid in the building is reading. Now, of course, for a 5-year-old, reading looks different than a 5th grader. But during that time, our teachers are pulling small groups, we're getting interventions in place, and we're meeting kids where they are in an attempt to get them where they need to be. Now, that's one side of it, but the other side is always going to be student motivation. So we have an assessment we take in our district called MAP, Measures of Academic Progress. It's how we track how students are doing to make sure that they're on grade level academically, and that's really important when you get to 3rd through 5th grade, because that's how we kind of track who's going to do well on the state test or not. So if you're in 5th grade, you've taken it 3 times in 1st grade, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, you've already taken that assessment 12 times. Needless to say, when you get to 5th grade, you're kind of done with math. You've seen it, let's move on to something else. So it's our job to motivate students. And students love competition. They love competition and feeling special, like we all do. And so one thing that we're doing differently this year is we're really making our MAP assessment like an event. So we just got done taking MAP for 3rd through 5th grade. Actually, yesterday we're going to take it kindergarten through 1st coming up, and you haven't lived until you've seen a 5-year-old take a standardized assessment. That's something else. But our kids that have already taken it, we wanted to make it special. And so one night I was watching the Olympics, and I was trying to come up with a motto or a theme for our testing that was coming up. And I said, there it is. Why don't we just do the Olympics? But instead of the skiing or swimming or what have you, we'll do the MAP Olympics. And so we spent a couple of months introducing this and making it a huge deal to our students. And we said if you meet your target score and your grade level, you're going to get a silver medal. If you meet the exemplary score, you're going to get a gold medal. The beauty of elementary school, if you tell them that something's special and you say it like this, then they think it's something special. So we went out and we bought, they're not real gold medals because we're in school, public school. But we bought gold medals, we bought silver medals, and we bought bronze medals, thank you. And the bronze is if I didn't meet the grade level, but I met my own personal goal for math and ELA. And we've had ceremonies with kids where we actually give them their medal, and our assistant principal, Miss Bigham, she plays the Olympic song on her phone, and we have a little podium that we use. And it's silly, and it's small, but the kids love it. They love it. So that is really our goal, is to make sure that our kids are motivated. And here's how I know it's working. They just took it yesterday. The kids are already saying, when are we going to have our medal ceremony? When is our medal ceremony going to be? And it's literally just bringing the classroom to the hallway and giving them a medal in front of the podium. But they've really bought into it. So our challenge as a school and as a principal, my challenge is to make sure that every time we take an assessment, that there's that excitement about it. Because I remember being in high school and we took BSAP. Anybody ever remember taking BSAP? And it was just something we took. Like it didn't have any connection to me because it was something that happened to me. Like I didn't feel like there was any relevancy to me as a student. So again, our big goal is to make sure that our kids are motivated for an assessment. which brings a new challenge because state testing, we don't get those results back until the end of the year, or I'm sorry, to the end of the summer. And so what we're going to do, we have not told our kids yet, we're going to have an excitement day. Excitement with the emphasis on the M, the E, and the T in excitement. And our kids that meet in grades 3rd through 5th grade, we're going to invite them to a party at Collier Park. It won't be, you know, it'll be very simple. We'll invite them to a party, we'll have hot dogs, we may even try to get a DJ. But to them, if we sell it right, it'll be a huge, huge event to be invited to. So as a school, what we're trying to do is decrease the number of kids who do not meet on those state assessments. And like I said, COVID has been a huge impactor on our assessment scores. And so what we're trying to do is, as a school, ensure that, that no more than 39% of our kids are not met on the state assessment. Once we reach that goal, we want to go down to 29, to 19, and so on. And in 3rd grade, we want to ensure that no more than 29% of our kids are not met on the state assessment. And that's really important with 3rd grade because the state, they define us as a school in many ways based on how we do in 3rd grade. That's a critical year for kids. A lot of the research shows that if a kid is not reading on grade level in 3rd grade, the chances of them being on grade level in higher grades, it's harder, it's more difficult. And so as a result of that, there's a state law called Read to Succeed. And if a student does not meet a certain assessment score in 3rd grade, then the law says they must go to a summer reading camp and then potentially repeat 3rd grade. And that's a lot of pressure on a 3rd grader. And so again, that's why it's so important for us as principals and administrators and classroom teachers to not only support our kids academically, but to make these assessments as fun as they can be and to motivate them in doing so. So one thing that my teachers have already told us from this Map Olympics project that we've done is that they're seeing a lot of growth, not only in kids who needed to grow, but also in kids who were already where they needed to be. And that's really important for our kids because we want to make sure that we send the right message that if you're doing well already, that doesn't mean we want you to rest on your laurels. We want you to keep going. Because in an ideal world, our kids are not just competing with kids at Lawrence Elementary or Clinton Elementary, but across the state, across the nation, even the world. We want our kids ready for whatever they decide to go into. And so my mission as a principal and our mission as teachers is to educate kids to a point where they can literally go out and do whatever they like to do. Whether that is a trade school, whether that's a 4-year degree, whatever they feel like. Because ultimately, if we educate them at the level that we need to be, they're free. They have freedom to do what they want, and that's what our ultimate goal is. So that's a little bit about what we're doing at EB. Daniel also wanted me to speak about Straight Street. I'm the chairman of Straight Street right up the road here. And Straight Street is a near and dear organization to me. I actually went to Straight Street as a teenager. It was over at the old Baldwin Buick. It was right beside Baldwin Buick. And when we were teenagers, when we were 15, 16 years old, Straight Street kept us out of a lot of trouble because we were at Straight Street instead of coming up with our own ideas for fun. So it's an organization that's near and dear to me. Was Mr. Dixon a part of Rotary?
Yeah.
Okay, I figured he was. He was the chairman, of course, until he passed. But that gentleman, along with Dickie and Linda Martin, have done a tremendous amount for our city with Straight Street. And when I go by on Friday and Saturday nights and I see up to 120 kids at Straight Street playing basketball and playing pool and hearing the gospel, it really makes me appreciate what Mr. Dixon and what the Martins have done for our community with Straight Street. So we're open every Friday and every Saturday night, except for holidays, and we're open from 7 to 11. And that is an organization that I'm thankful is around. I know Mr. Dixon always told me when we opened, they would say we would be closed in 5 years. and that was over 25 years ago. So if you get a chance, please come in and just volunteer, or just come in and walk around Straight Street when the kids are there. They would love to see you guys. Thank you so much. Are there any questions?
Jason, I wanted to ask if you had worked with Calvin Whitmire at all, bridging the gap.
Yes, sir. We as a school have worked with Mr. Whitmire. He's actually got the kickball team coming up. Yes, sir. And I do think Straight Street, it would be advantageous for us to work with him, because we're really doing the same goal. So it would be beneficial for us to work together. Yes, sir.
I don't know how many people are still around. Went to Central School and had Mr. Morse as principal. But one time I sprained my ankle real bad, and he actually put me on his back and carried me to his car and carried me on up to the hospital to get an x-ray done. And so I had a lot of fond memories of him, and I didn't mind going to, when they sent me to the principal, I didn't mind going to see him because he's such a good man. So, you have a big influence over the children.
Thank you. We actually still have a picture of Mr. Morris hanging up in the front office. He's still there.
Good man.
Yeah, I've heard some really good stories about him.
Have other schools adopted some of the things you've done, or have you shared that out with other schools here in the district? Or, I mean, obviously, each one comes up with their own ideas probably, but it sounds like what you've got is working. So,
We all kind of do our own little thing. I'm sure they have a way that they motivate students too. I'm sure they do. Any other questions?
How about your teacher supply? Is it hard to get teachers in now?
Is it hard to get teachers in?
Yeah, like you having trouble filling positions?
I can't say that we have trouble filling positions. I will say that teacher burnout is a real thing. It really is. When, as a principal, it was enlightening for me to realize that when our kids went through COVID, so did our teachers, in terms of the mental stress. So I can't say that it really is hard to fill positions, but always in the back of my mind each day is how to keep our teachers motivated, because they're tired. They're tired. And, you know, just to give you an example, we have one teacher, an amazing teacher, our teacher of the year actually. She was virtual last year. She was one of the teachers that taught virtually. And I thought that might be a reason for her to retire, because it was very difficult. So just because of all of the things that you have to do in terms of virtual. So if you guys know a teacher, please keep them in mind and just understand that they're going through a lot just like our kids are in terms of burnout. But so far so good on filling positions, but it's still early.
great job.
Thank you, Jason. Great presentation. And thank you, JD and Holly, for y'all coming. Holly, I appreciate you doing something for this table over here. I didn't say it, you did. All in good fun. If we'll stand for our four-way test and our motto.
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
And our motto,
Service above self.
serve to change lives, Rotarians. Before you leave, we always